Yep, so today is lesson 3-6, adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators. So we're going to have to change some denominators today, and we're going to go over how to do that again, because some of us need that help. But I would like to talk about the spell ringer, because this is what you did for me yesterday. So if I look at this, what is the rule I first have to follow? Okay, so then it becomes 3 and 2, 6 plus 1 and 4, 6. So to do this, there's two different ways. How many of you would have changed it to improper fraction? Okay. How many of you would just add them together, did the fractions first and the whole numbers? Okay. You could do either one. I will do, let's see, which way should I do? Add them together. Okay, so 2 plus 4 is 6 over, and then I get 6 over 6, and then I get 1 or 4, and which would equal 5. Okay, and if I don't do that, let's say I do improper fraction way, eventually I get 30 over 6, and then it changes to 5. So, you do whatever way you like. But not every way can be done like that. Not every time. It can't be done like that every time. Yep, you do it, you stick to your own way. Some people say, well, I know I can do it like this when I'm all adding. Or I can do it like this when I'm all subtracting. But when I have a negative, then I need to change it to the improper fraction. Maybe I subtract and I like 2 improper fractions. I don't care. You, like I said, you choose which way you like the best. Okay? So, first of all, let's talk about lowest common denominators. And the first vocab you need to know is LCD, which is lowest common denominator. Here's the deal. I'm not going to make you find the lowest common denominator to add these together. To me, I don't really care what denominator you use, because if you do your math correctly and you reduce correctly, guess what? You're going to come up with the same answer. So to me, like if I look at these two, let's say I'm going to add these two together, and I have 4 and 3. What could I use as a denominator? I could use 12. Could I use 24? Does it matter? Am I going to get the same answer? If I reduce, yes, it doesn't matter. So some people can see different things. Like I know there's going to be one coming up where some of you are going to use one thing and some of you are going to use the other thing because you all saw it different. Okay? So let's do, first of all, this one together. We're going to talk about making denominators common. And I want to make sure you have something down in your notebook that you know how to do this. All right? So let's talk about 3/5 minus 1/3. I'm going to use, 15. Here's what I want you to do. Please rewrite the problem for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this by 3. I'm going to multiply this by 5. Please rewrite the problem for yourself. Please. It's going to make it a lot easier for yourself. And later on, when you have to use improper fractions, it's going to make it a lot easier for yourself. So please rewrite the problem, and then you can subtract. Could I have? And then I still have to go back to that, I can reduce that to 1/3, but then I'm back to square one, and then I have to rechange it again. So you have to have common denominators, and even if you can reduce it, you gotta wait till you're done. Okay, wait till you reduce your. Yes, when you multiply, you can reduce crossways. You cannot do that when you add and subtract. Okay, so you can only reduce at the end when you add and subtract. What about this one? I have 2 and 22. What's the denominator I could use? Could I use 44? Yeah, either one. Yep, 22 is easier. If I keep 22, do I have to do anything to that 7? No. All right, so let's do, why don't you do these two for me in your notebook, okay, just to make sure we're all on the same page with these. Okay, so go ahead and do these, and then we'll keep going here. You can do both of them. Are you about ready? Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds here. We'll talk about those too. Yep. Let's talk about the first one. 9/16 minus 1/8. What denominator did you use, Evan? 16. So this should have been 2 over 16. What did you get for an answer? You hear? 7 over 16. Nice job. The second one, how many of you use 20 as a common denominator? How many use 40? This is the one I was talking about. If you look at that, you automatically see, okay, I can use 40. I would have never even thought of 20. Okay? I thought of 40 right away. So in the end, you should get, what was the answer? 11 over 20, I believe? Okay, 11 over 20 should be your answer there. What did you use for a common denominator? So you did 40, 10 over 40, plus 40, right? Should have got 22 over 40. Then you can reduce. Okay. All right, so here, let's talk about mixed fractions, okay? So I think this is where a lot of us kind of get confused, or it takes a long time, and I don't want to do it, okay? But you still have to do them, all right? So let's look at this one. 12 and 3/4 plus 9 and 1/2. The first thing I would do, the first thing you need to do is you have to change the denominator. You have to. So, yep, 2/4. Now, I don't care which way you do. Could you do it improper fraction way? Sure. Could you do it just regular way? Sure. This time you could. You could do 3 plus 2 is 5 over 4. 21 and 5 over 4. Yep, so I got to change that to 1 and 1/4, and I'm going to add them together, and I get 22 and 1/4. I could also do it the improper fraction way, and it's going to come out the exact same way. Does anybody want me to show the improper fraction way? Yes? Okay, I will. Just, really, just chill. Just chill. 48, 49, 50, 51 over 4 plus 36, 38, 38 over 4. I'm going to add them together, and I get 89 over 4. 89 divided by 4 goes in twice. Minus 8, I bring down my 9, goes in 2 times. I get, 22 and 1/4. Okay? Either way. Either way. Do this one for me. Do this one for me. You're subtracting this time. Sure, you can do it sideways. I just line them up like this because that's how I like them. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. First, change to improper fractions. If I were you, I'd rewrite the problem if you need to rewrite the problem. I have too many people in the other class who were trying to do the little fractions and the big fractions. They weren't rewriting anything, and it was so hard to follow their work. So if you just do things in steps, it'd make it a lot easier. Change this first, or you change that. So you got 7 over 2, right? But you have to change that denominator first. So make it 3 and 3/6. Does that make sense? Okay, first you have to change this denominator. Do you see how you have 6 and a 2 here? You're going to use 6 as your common denominator, right? So change this to 6 times 3 times 3. Then you can use your improper fraction. You have to change your denominator before you make your improper fraction, and that's what you did not do for that one, okay? So you're going to 18, 19, 20, 21 over 6 now, okay? 12. Okay, I don't know where any of this work is right here. I know. You have to change common denominators before you do anything like this. Oh, so you multiply by 6. You multiply this by 6. You multiply, and what's your other? 68 times 2. Oh, you could have just left it at 6. That would make it way easier.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I always think of if the two can go into each other. That's how I think of it.
I have no idea what you did wrong. Let's keep it as 6. 68 over 6 minus, oh my gosh, it would have been times 3 times 3, 21 over 6. There you go. Now try and see if you get the right answer. Remember, you're subtracting. I had also people figuring out that they were adding when they should have been subtracting. No. Thank you. Okay, I would use 6 as a common denominator. Okay, now listen. Before you do anything, you have to change the denominator. You can't just make this into an improper fraction. You have to change it. So this would be 3/6. Okay, and then if you make improper fractions, then you can do it 6/6. So this would be 68 over 6. This would be 18, 19, 20, 21 over 6. And you're subtracting, so you're going to get 47 over 6, right? And then if you read... Yep. 7 and 5, 6. 7 and 5, 6. So watch your signs. That's important. You could have done it like this. Did anybody keep it like this? Did anybody do it like this? Yep. So some people can do it like this, ladies and gentlemen. Borrow, right? And then that becomes 6 over 6, and then you can do 8 over 6. You get 5, 6, 7, 5, 6. That's a way too. That's a way too. What's that? Okay, then you do it your way. Then you do it your way. You do it your way. Let's talk about some negatives quick, and then we'll do some practice problems, all right? First, even if it's a negative, you still have to change the denominator. So what am I going to use here? 24. 24, 24. Rewrite it. Times 3, so that's 15, times 8, times 8, it'd be like this. And then you get negative 23 over 24. No, that's multiplication. Remember cats and dogs. Okay? Cats and dogs is today. If I look at this one, we're not going to do this one, but let's just look at it. What do you need to do? Keep, change, change. Okay, yes. Let's do some practice problems. So you can either get a marker board or you can do some in your notebook. I don't care what you do. Some of you probably need to do them in your marker or in your notebook. Okay? So find something you can do them in. We'll do some practice. I got a ton of markers over there too you can use if you want. Alright, ready for your first one? Okay, so try this. Negative 2 1/3 plus negative 7 1/2. First, you have to change the denominator. No matter what you do, no matter what method you do, you have to change the denominator. You're done already? Yep, so what did you do to 3 to get to 6? You multiply by 2, right? So 1 times, yep. Negative 2 and 2, 6. Negative 2 and 2, 6. No. How do you get, that was a 3, right? Sorry, rewrite that, my bad. You got from 3 to 6. Now what do you have to do to your numerator? Multiply by, okay, so that's going to be on top. No, on top down there. Then you're going to bring your whole number down. How'd you get from 2 to 6? You multiply by? There you go. Yep. Yep. It might be negative. Okay, so how are we doing here? Did you change your denominators? Okay, so you changed them to 6's, right? Okay, when you do that, I'm just going to erase this, all right? Because you did everything right. Let me just rewrite it. So you did 2, 6, right? Plus, and then this was 3, 6, correct? Bring your whole numbers down then. Okay. All right. Now you can add those two together. What's this plus this? What's this plus this? Okay. How'd you do? Good? Good. Gentlemen, I think we're going to have a seating chart, I think, next time. I think we're all going to have a seating chart. No, we're going to all have a seating chart. I don't like this anymore. No, no one more chances. There's been plenty of one more chances, I'm pretty sure. Your answers should be -9 and 5, 6. Okay. Erase your board. Yes. You didn't add these together. All cats. -14 plus 45. No, not keeps change. Do we subtract? All right, do this one. 5 and 5, 6 minus -2 and 1/4. Use for denominator. You could. What else could you use? 4 and 6. You could use 12. Okay. Good. Okay.
Wait, so it's like this.
How do you get 20 on this? What'd you do this? What's 6? No. How'd you 12? How'd you get from 12 to 6? What'd you multiply by? 2. So you take 5 times 2. 2. 2. 2. 10. Should be 10, not 12. I don't know yet. Yes. Good. Nice job. I see some wrong answers back there. Where's yours? Huh? Okay. Yep. Yes. Now you're going to keep change, right? And you can add those. Now what? Yes. Very good. What do you have left? Nice job. Nice work. There you go. How are you doing? Good. Good. 8 and 1/12 should be your answer. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. I think some of us are kind of catching on. Let's do this one. 5/7 plus -10/21. Don't forget your cats and your dogs on this, people. Should be negative. Should be negative. No, because. Oh, I forgot to switch to 5. I forgot to switch to 5. Oh, it is. Cats and dogs, Carver. I said Carver that time. You just couldn't hear it. I stumped the stumper. So if you change the 5/7, it becomes 15/21. 15 plus -10 is 5/21. So it's not negative. Not negative. How's she doing? She just forgot her negative and her 10. Oh. Okay. All right. ready for another? Okay. We're going to keep practicing here. Let's do this one. Let's do 16 and 5/6 minus 12 and 1/3. You can write it either way. 16 and 5/6 minus 12 and 1/3. Whatever way you like it. I don't know. Maddie says it's right. Orders from headquarters says it's right. It's a little big. We're just subtracting, right? So it can't be 29 and 1/6. I think you were adding them together. The 7th. It's not the 14th yet. Weird. Is that like a... Wait, what? Fitzpatrick? Oh, that's weird. Is it like a family name?
No, they're not even related.
They aren't? That's weird. How would you pick Natalia as your middle name? That's just weird. How'd you do it? Except for this is 4. 6 minus 12 is 4. 4 and a half. Okay. All right, ready? What'd you get? 4 and a half? Yep. All right, let's do, can we do one more?
That's it.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, really. All right, here's a tricky one. -4 and a 9 minus 7 and 2/3. Think of your rules here, people. Think of your rules. That's good. It was. Yep. Yep. Keep change. Wrong. That's a good question. Why did he say positive?
I got mine.
Did you get your negative sign?
Yep. I got it.
What is that?
Look at. You got to keep change. So you know you're gonna have like negative something. It's gonna be higher. Minus 37. Did you change this one? Oh, right here. 63. That's not the right answer though.
Maddie, you did it wrong.
No, she's got the right answer, so I don't know what happened to you. Here. Keep change. You forgot to change that.
Oh.
Yep. Your answer should be -11 and 7/9. Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. Before you even do a problem, you can pretty much take a guess of what your answer is going to be. Do some guesstimation. So think to yourself, if I got to keep change this, it's going to be -4 plus -7. Your answer is going to be somewhere around -11. Okay, so start thinking to yourself, even if I go back here, 16 minus 12, I know my answer is going to be somewhere around 4. You have to look and think to yourself, what can these be about? Like 5 minus -2, 5 plus plus, it's going to be around 7. So start thinking to yourself before you even do it what your answer should be. Figure out your answer, and if you didn't get it right, you got to go back and think again. Okay? So do some thinking before you even do the problem.